Hi guys, how you doing? It's Jim Daly here, Crystal Palace fan, comedian, YouTuber and host of the FYP podcast, which is a podcast for Palace fans. And I've been asked to answer a few questions for you guys ahead of Palace's game with Southampton at the weekend, which is a big game for Palace. Although I do feel at the moment like I say that about every game at Palace. So first up, Frank De Boer leaving Palace on Monday, sacked after 4 games and just 77 days. And I'm told missing out on facing Southampton for the second time in 10 months by a matter of days. So maybe that's actually the reason he left. You know, maybe he didn't leave interim Palace because of any internal problems or the team not doing very well. He just didn't want to face Southampton. So, you know, I feel like maybe we've hit on the actual reason for De Boer's struggles. It's a really hard one to assess. It's still quite fresh in the memory. You know, I've been to every game this season, and I went to Burnley on Sunday, and Palace actually put in their best performance of the season, to be honest. And that was the first moment this season where I thought, oh, here we go. I can see what De Boer's trying to do here. And then 24 hours later, he's sacked as manager. But on the flip side, you can see why. You know, reports are coming out in a lot of the nationals that there's a breakdown in trust between him and the players, him and the board, him and Steve Parish, our chairman. And when that happens at clubs, it's almost irreparable. You can't come back from that. I think the overriding feeling from a lot of Palace fans is that he was the wrong fit. He was a square peg in a round hole, and he was just not the right person for Palace. But having said that, it's very early to say that. You know, we don't know. Had we left it a few more weeks, a few more months, maybe he would have fitted into Palace. So Roy Hodgson is the Crystal Palace manager, appointed late last night, in true Palace fashion, appointed on Instagram by Steve Parish, our chairman, before he'd actually been confirmed as Palace boss, and reportedly before he'd even signed a contract. Roy, in a way, almost sort of embodies Palace, in that from the outside, people look at him and think he's a bit of a joke. But on the inside, there's actually more to it, and people who aren't Palace fans maybe don't quite understand what he's about and why it's important that he's come back to Selhurst. He actually was born in Croydon. He taught at a lot of local schools before he then went to take his first managerial job in Sweden, which would have been in 1970 something. And he actually played for Palace's youth team in 1964, 65, never made a first team appearance, but played alongside Steve Kember, who went on to be a Palace legend, played 300 times for the club and managed the club twice. So he has strong connections. He stood on the Homestead Terrace as a kid. He supported Palace as a kid. His family supports Palace. There are strong connections there. But if you're looking at his credentials, he is a good manager. He's been successful at clubs like Palace, West Brom and Fulham. People and fans there speak very highly of him. So to Saturday, obviously we play Southampton, you guys, early kick-off, 12:30 at Selhurst. And we do have a good record against Saints, especially at home recently. We beat you 3-0 last season when we were on the back of a run of 6 defeats and needed a win, very much like the scenario we're in now. And that day, Southampton almost handed us the result. Fraser Forster completely missed the back pass, and Benteke stuck it away. And for the rest of the game, Saints were very poor. And Palace didn't play that well either, but ended up 3-0 winners. And the season before that, we beat you at Selhurst around the same time of the year when Kabay scored, and we were very good that day. We were, you know, Saints weren't bad that day. We were very, very good. So we have a good record against you at home. And I spoke to a Southampton fan recently, and he believes, and this may be something that I think every fan believes, but he thinks that Southampton are the perfect team to play when you're on a run of bad form and you need a result. He thinks they're a very generous team, and I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but if that's the case, that's great, because we need a win. We really need something, even a draw. We need points, we need a goal. You know, we haven't scored a goal yet. I've almost forgotten what it's like cheering a goal for Palace. And I think we're going to get it on Saturday. I think there's going to be a reaction. I think there's going to be a great atmosphere. It's almost going to be quite emotional inside Selhurst, I think. What with Roy coming back, everything being so bad, I think everyone's going to pull together. And I'm sure you guys will appreciate what Palace fans are like in adversity. We step up, you know. So I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere. I think we're going to respond, and I think we're going to see the best of Palace, of this Palace team. I think Roy will go back to basics. It'll almost be like when we played under Allardyce last season. We hopefully have Loftus-Cheek back. Zaha might be back, maybe, possibly not. Mamadou Sakho played for the under-23s in a week. If those three are back, that's a huge boost. With Roy in the dugout, that's another boost. And playing Southampton, that's another boost as well. Okay, so finally then, I've been asked to do a score prediction. And as I said, I think we're going to get a result on Saturday. I think we're going to see an improved performance, although, as I said earlier, we did play quite well at Burnley on Sunday. If we can take that sort of energy that we had in that purpose, that drive, transform it into Saturday with a more solid formation, get the ball up to Benteke. We were very good at mixing it up on Sunday, getting it to him long, getting it to him short. We created a lot of chances. Townsend was very good on Saturday. Yohan Cabaye was back to his best, and he seems to play very well against Southampton. So I think we're going to hopefully use those players to their best abilities, get Townsend whipping it in, get Benteke on the end of it, get Cabaye with his late runs into the box. I really hope Loftus-Cheek is back. If all those things happen, I think Palace can win. It won't be 3-0 like last season, but I think it'll be tight. 2-1 Palace maybe? 1-0 or 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 because I still think we're shaky at the back. And you guys have definitely got players that can threaten us. And I think it's going to go away on Saturday. I really hope so. I believe so. And I really hope it does for Roy, because I want him to get off to a winning start. I really like him as a manager. I like him as a guy, as a man. I like him as a manager, and maybe I'm getting a bit carried away. But, you know, we're football fans, and sometimes we have to. We have to let ourselves get carried away. Right now, that's all Palace fans can do, because the alternative is pretty bleak. So there you go. I've been Jim Daly from the 5 Year Plan podcast and FYP TV, and my own channel, youtube.com/JimDalyComedy, where I do funny football videos and songs and stuff. So check it out. I'd love to see you on my channel. So anyway, all the best to Southampton this season, apart from on Saturday. And I know you guys are going through a transition as well. And in fact, you've got the manager that we nearly got as well. In fact, he chose you guys over us. And I know that he's not got off to a flying start. So I hope you guys turn it around. I hope that the new manager settles into life at St Mary's. And I hope you guys have a good season starting after Saturday at Selhurst Park. So thanks for watching. All the best. See you soon.